Okay. Hey guys. So we're not doing a Facebook Live video tonight because I just don't really feel like it. And it's Friday night, and we probably know that most people are out doing things. And I seem like we just do these on Friday nights, like on nights when people are doing stuff for some reason. So I don't know why. But so our June book was The Memory of Lemon. If anyone actually remembers. Kind of been a whole minute since I know I read it and Coops read it. And I know that we are trying to do things on a month-to-month basis, but of course life gets in the way and things just, don't happen that way. We're going to have cats all through this video. All through it. All of them. Anyways, so, and plus me and Cuba have been on different shifts. I work nights and she works days. So we equally do not see each other at all during the week. So it's hard to kind of like get things done. But we are about to do our book discussion, and we've sent out our June book package, and we already have our July book already out there, and it's really, really good. So if y'all have not bought it yet, please do. I mean, we still have a few weeks left of July anyway. So if y'all still want to buy a good book and read it and whatnot and discuss it, then buy our July book. Yeah. It's called My Sunshine. And it's really good so far. I haven't finished it yet, but Coop finished it. And
yeah.
She said she liked it. Look, there it is. Boom. And we got an autographed copy. Just saying.
It's pretty good. Yeah. Didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to, but whatever.
I think that's how I feel about it too. And I
had to take a break because I got pissed off. And
I'm mad too because I feel like it's not going to turn out the way I want to, and I feel like I'm going to be like, what was the point?
Yep.
But it's like, it's so good how he tells the story so far. Like, he's so in depth with like his feelings and how like it's just kind of like he makes you not want to put it down.
Yeah, it's good.
But at the same time, I think I'm going to be disappointed for sure because I'm more of a happy ending kind of person. And I don't think that's going to happen in the book. So, yeah. It's good, though. Y'all should definitely check it out. So, we are going to just hop right into our discussions, in the back of Memory of Lemon. We're going to try to remember.
We don't remember all of it, so we might skip some questions.
Yeah. And the questions are really long. And there's a lot of them, actually. There's like 14 of them.
So we might pick like a few.
And I might mispronounce people's names in the book. So if that's not how they're pronounced, I'm sorry. I'm bad at pronouncing stuff sometimes. So don't judge me. Okay? So let's just...
What's the first question? I'm not done.
So number one, I'll just kind of read it real quick. A recent study from Emory University School of Medicine shows that memories can be passed on to subsequent, yes, thank you, generations through DNA. What memories, abilities, or tendencies pass through the families in the Memory of Lemon? So, what memories, abilities, or tendencies pass through the families in Memory of Lemon? Well, I'm guessing, the main one is be able to, have a certain smell, and it, remind them of a memory or something like that. They can, smell something off someone, and they can, see into their past, basically. That's one of the, abilities that they all have. Number two. Dose.
Neely's gift allow her to sense a flavor that is a hyperlink to someone's hidden issue. The flavor leads to an emotion, and then she sees a scene from someone's past. When she tries to resolve a difficult and classic standoff, bride versus mother, no flavor comes to her for a long time. Why do you think that is? I don't know.
I thought about this question, and I thought maybe it was because the bride and the mother are related.
I think too, because they're not on the same page.
Yeah.
I feel like if they were maybe on the same page, it'd be a little bit easier
True.
for her to read them, but they're just in two different realms. Obviously, the mom wants like a high scale wedding. The bride kind of wants more like a down to earth country kind of wedding. So I think that's the issue too.
Yes. Do you agree? Number 3 is, do you agree with Neely's customers? Is pie more emotional, more nostalgic than cake? Which dessert is more attached to a certain memory for you, pie or cake? I don't know. I didn't really grow up eating pie, like also Thanksgiving or Christmas, but that's like,
yeah. I like pumpkin pie is like the only pie I've ever like had in my life.
yeah.
I eat more cake than anything.
Which I don't even like cake.
Yeah.
So
I don't eat a lot of cake.
I mean, I don't come from a line of, my family's not big bakers, so it's not like we had like a certain dessert that we had like
we would
dinner,
only get it like on birthdays or something.
Yeah, so from us, no. I would say no.
Number 4, in flashback scenes, we see characters who are wanderers and healers. Which one do you think best characterized Neely, and are there any characters who started out as wanderers and became healers? Well, I mean, I guess I would say she's a healer. I don't really think she's a wanderer.
No, I don't think Neely's a wanderer. I definitely think she's a...
I think...
Well, I guess she can be somewhat of a wanderer, like, just, like, I guess the way her life is just kind of, like, up in the air, you know, begin with, you know, the whole, like, take place of the book, like, her whole life is just kind of, like, up in the air. I think she's, like, wandering back to, like, where she's supposed to, you know, back on her path, maybe. But I think she definitely is a healer, though, also, because she's, you know, she helps out the mother and the bride and stuff like that, so...
I'd say her dad is more of a wanderer.
Yeah, her dad's definitely a wanderer, but who...
But he's working through issues.
Yeah.
So I feel like he used to be a healer, because he used to have the ability, but then he kind of lost it over time, because he has stuff to heal, in essence, on his own, before he can kind of go back. So I feel like he's kind of like in that wanderer phase.
Yeah, I don't think there are like any characters that started out as wanderers and then went to healers. Unless maybe Neely herself.
I mean, you had like the flashbacks, but I don't remember the flashbacks too much.
But some of the flashbacks, I don't know. Number 5, Neely's father, the homeless Jack O'Neill, knows he has to face a terrible Vietnam War experience in order to begin his journey toward normal life. How can reliving a horrifying experience eventually bring healing? Well, I mean, to get past anything traumatic in your life, you have to move on from it. And moving on is healing from it, or it just keeps affecting your life, and you can't let it affect your life. It's the past, you know? Like, you know?
I think for some people, the healing process is going through what happened. Or talking to somebody about what happened, or whatever the case might be. It's just their way of personally healing. Some people that keep it in, they're not gonna heal because you're not really saying anything. So
true. Well, especially with Jack's case, for all those years, he had so much guilt about what happened, and he never told anybody about it. So instead of telling anyone about it, he let it completely transform his life.
Yeah.
And if he would have just opened up about the experience and opened up and healed way after, like, when it happened, his life would have been completely different. Neely's life would have been completely different. But instead of actually, you know, facing the problem, facing what happened and telling someone what happened, I mean, he completely destroyed, you know, not really ruined Neely's life, but basically it took her father away from her. And it took him away from his family, you know? So, I mean, the better you deal with things and talk about it and get some help, the better you can move on from the situation and move on to a better life. So, yeah.
God, they just get longer and longer.
I don't really... Number 6, I don't really remember.
I don't remember I remember the river.
Yeah.
And I remember how... she liked to be by the river. Or she didn't. She didn't like to be by the river, right?
No, she did.
Is she the one that was killed by the river?
Well, she was killed in the river, but she did, like, have her house was by the river.
I don't remember that one.
Well, we're gonna skip number 6, okay?
I don't remember. I mean, I know Lydia's mother. I know that she didn't like going back to where she was from. because she felt like it took her back to a place where she wasn't at.
Yeah.
And Neely and Ben, didn't they have their fight by the river or something?
Who?
Neely and Ben?
Yeah, they did.
Something like that.
Yeah, but then they made up afterwards.
I don't remember too much about this book. Artist John James
Audubon
wandered through the American wilderness and also wandered through this novel. How do the responses of Lydia and her mother to, influence in the wedding underscore in their indifferences?
Underscore their differences. I don't know. How do the responses of Lydia and her mother to Audubon influences in the wedding underscore their differences?
I don't know that one.
Well, I think Lydia's mother finally, when it was, put, I don't know, what the theme of the wedding was basically around that artist and how, how he captured, the wilderness and different birds and whatnot. And I think, maybe, Lydia's mother, seeing that in art form made her kind of understand where Lydia was coming from. Maybe, it actually being in front of her face in, a different form, in art. It made her realize, oh, you know what, this is beautiful, and where we came from is beautiful. In the country and whatnot. So, that's what I would maybe think. That's my best answer. We sensed through one of Neely's surprise flashbacks that Sister Agnes might have had to give up a baby before she entered, what is it, Novitate? Novitate?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what that word is. And that the child grew into someone Neely knows well. Were you surprised? Well, no, because everyone in this book is obviously connected in some sort of way. So, no, I was not surprised about that.
Some memories come back through flavor, some through song. And
that's our cats, their drama. They're dramatic.
Some memories come back through flavor, some through song in this novel. What prompts memories for you? A certain aroma, a song on the radio. I mean, I'm more of a song person. I can remember them more. So certain songs I can remember, but
I mean, there's different smells that I can smell and I'll remind me of someone or something. But then definitely songs I guess would be the best way. To remember, to have memory or whatnot, so. 10. Do dessert flavors run in families? If so, what flavor is the favorite in your family? Lemon, spice, or chocolate? Like I said, my family isn't a big dessert thing. I mean, my great aunt had a fudge that we had the recipe for, but other than that, that's really about it.
We didn't have anything. Yeah. In a world of instant communication, Neely is forced by circumstances to send snail mail letters to her father and to Ben. What is special about a letter? How do letters deepen the relationship between Neely and her father, Neely and Ben? I don't know. I don't know. There's something about you just taking a piece of paper and writing a letter.
Yeah, it's more personal than anything.
With today's technology, it's so easy to send a text. But I feel like even with texting, there's a lack of communication. Especially if you're texting everybody, you lack interpersonal communication skills.
Yeah.
So I think just writing it down in a letter, it's a little bit easier to get out what you're feeling, too.
Mm-hmm. So
you can think about it and write it.
I mean, obviously if you're writing a letter, you haven't talked to that person in a significant amount of time.
Yeah.
So it makes you miss that person more, and, you want to tell them more, tell them about your day, and how much you thought about them and whatnot, so it's just it's just more romantic, I guess.
I definitely think the letters deepen, how did it deepen it? I just think Neely and her father obviously were able to talk and communicate finally, so it gave her a chance to get to know him or see why he did stuff or what was going on.
Yeah.
And Neely and Ben, obviously, she still wanted to talk to him, but with her divorce and everything, they had to kind of keep it on the low, but I think it also made her finally face how she truly felt about Ben, because she knew, but I think Ben kind of was wondering too. on where they were going or what was going to happen, with them.
Yeah. 12. Gran, Jack O'Neill, and Neely all share the same gift of sensing a flavor that will lead to a story that reveals something that is hidden. But each of them have experienced the gift differently. Why do you think the young Gran tasted the bitter, inky flavor of a story that had yet to happen? Why can't Jack O'Neill taste things like Neely can anymore? And why does Neely have the trouble deciphering the twin flavors of citrus and spice? Citrus and spice, sorry. Well, I mean, they're all different people, So, of course, the gift's gonna, come to them in different ways, and they're gonna interpret it in different ways, and they're gonna have, their own little, spin on it, or whatever. Of course, Gran, she was able to see things that were yet to happen, because she knew that something bad was gonna happen to Jack. She knew something bad was gonna happen, and she, of course, didn't want him to go to war, but he did, and what happened ended up happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Jack can have his gift anymore because he's blocked. His whole entire, he's blocked his whole entire memory. He can't even remember things that happened to him. So he's just kind of like a walking ghost right now.
Yeah.
He's been walking through life just trying not to remember things. So he doesn't, of course, a flavor or anything. He doesn't want to remember anything because he doesn't want to remember what happened in Vietnam. And Neely, why did she have trouble deciphering the twin flavors of citrus and spice? Probably because.
Well, didn't she I thought she knew citrus though, or was it lemon? That was a sour taste that she would get from some people. That she would read from people.
No, it was spice.
Was it?
Yeah, it was when she would get when her something was bad or something, from Lydia's mother, it was a spicy flavor or something like that, spice.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was just because both had a connection with her, but she didn't know the other connection. She didn't know the connection between the two spices. So maybe that's why she didn't know the two connections that ran in her family from these two ingredients. So maybe she just couldn't decipher between the two. Number 13.
Why did Jack O'Neill feel he was helping his family by leaving them? Obviously, I think he just felt that way because he was dealing with stuff and didn't want to drag them into it.
Yeah.
So he just felt it was better for him to leave and just kind of figure it out on his own.
Well, he obviously had so much guilt towards this action. He felt guilty, and I think he was embarrassed. He didn't want his family to know.
Yeah.
What he was a part of and all that. So I think he just felt like it was better for him to just leave because obviously he couldn't figure out his stuff. So he didn't want to, put that on them. But of course that was the wrong decision. But, things happen for a reason. By the end of the book, Neely and her father are, getting a relationship again. Number 14, last question of the Memory of Lemons discussion questions. The wanderers in this novel want to find a home, but when life changes might prompt us to move and lose touch with familiar places. Where exactly is home? What is home? And how do we know when we're there? I think Pennsylvania is home to me. When I go home and I can see the trees and I can see the houses that are built together. If you've ever been up north and the houses are built together, it's really weird if you've never seen it before. And I don't know, I smell the mountain air and I'm like, okay, I'm home. This is home to me.
I don't know, when I start seeing the mountains and stuff, I'm like, oh, headed in the right direction.
Yeah, basically.
Once I get in Pennsylvania, we go home a lot. So
yeah, we're both.
Pennsylvania, she lives 5 minutes from me.
Yeah.
But once we go home, once you get into Pennsylvania, you hit Gettysburg, you're almost there.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts to get exciting going home and seeing the mountains and just being able to be outside. It's just a really nice thing.
But of course, we're both in the military, so of course we're gonna, we've had to detach ourselves from certain places, and I mean, I feel like this is home as well. You know, my house with my cats and my friends and all that. Been here for 3 years now, so I feel like
my
this
cats.
is my cats. I feel like this is my home now too. So, but I know like when I talk about Pennsylvania, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to go home because that's like my home. That's like where all my family is at mostly, and Texas is kind of home to me too. Like Texas is. You know, I have my moments where I start to miss Texas after I've been there for a while. So I'm like, oh, because I grew up there mostly. So, but okay, so that was our discussion questions. It just took us. It's just been such a long time. Like it's a long time has passed between this book and our July book. So it's kind of difficult for us. But like I said, we both on different schedules. She's taken leave, and we both done stuff on the weekends and stuff like that. So it's just of course, I know everyone in the book club also feels the same way. I've had people come up to me and be like, I'm so sorry, I'm so busy, you know, and which we get that, we understand that, of course, like, we're busy too, but just because we're busy and just because we might not be on the same timeline as I would want, okay, here we go, oh gosh, yep, there, okay, yep, bye. Anyways, just because we're not on the same timeline that I hope I would want us to be on, and just because we're not doing this as quickly as I want to, does not mean I want to give up on this endeavor. Obviously, I am really enjoying doing this. Of course, July is only our 3rd month, but still, I hope that, of course, I know summer is definitely a busy place or a busy time. So, our cats are crazy. But yeah, hopefully maybe when summer starts slowing down and, you know, people will start wanting to get back into it, which will be awesome. I know a few people have already bought their July books, which is great. Yeah, so just stick with us. You know, if you love to read, follow our book club. If you love giving back also, like I said, our book club is a charity book club. You know, every person that buys a book, we buy a book for a child that doesn't have you know, the access to new books. So it's also, you know, a charity thing. But Coop is getting sick, so that's why she hasn't really been talking that much. And I could talk for hours, so I'm gonna stop, and we're gonna go be lazy and watch Netflix for our Friday night. So yeah, if you want to post anything about our video or post anything about the discussion questions as well, just comment. I'm going to post this video on our Facebook, on our blog, and on our YouTube. So, yeah. Okay. Bye, guys.